3 pieces of information before we get started with this video. First off, I'm giving away a Prodigy scooter on my Instagram. If you guys have entered, good for you. If not, go to my Instagram right now. I'm giving a full Prodigy complete scooter. I'll be picking the winners on March 1st, so make sure you check out that post for details. Second thing, I'm going to Orlando next week for Playlist Live. I'll be there with JOBY, so if you guys want to come hang at the JOBY booth, make sure you stop by, check out some tripods, and I'll also be filming a ride video in Florida, so if you guys want to come ride and be a part of that, make sure you guys see me at the JOBY booth so we can meet up there, probably go ride before and after. Third thing on the list today is obviously this video. I know you guys are probably thinking, it's an indoor scooter, what are you doing outside? I live on the 2nd floor. If I were to jump around right now, with people home, hanging out, I'm gonna get the broomstick from the bottom floor telling me to be quiet. I just wanted to make sure I go outside today, so there's no limits, but I have this thing. It's an indoor scooter. It's made of foam. It's made by Indo Scooter. These guys hit me up, sent me one of these things, which is really great, especially for in the winter, because sometimes in the winter, it gets way too cold, way too early, and it's hard to be outside longer. So I am super excited to try this out today. I am not the best at doing all these hop, crazy, flat buttercup tricks, but I definitely want to be creative and do a little bit more than what most people would do on this scooter. So let's go straight into this video. I'll show you guys this scooter first, and then we'll try to ride it and see what tricks we can come up with. So the first thing I noticed when I opened this scooter up is that it's so freaking light, like too light, to the point where I was riding it inside in my house on the carpet, which was designed for, and you can also ride on trampolines too. I just don't have one, but I was riding at home and I realized how good I got on this. Got back on my scooter the next day and could trip whip in 10 tries. It took me 10 tries to do a trip whip because of the rotation. My muscle memory built such a comfortable state to whip this thing around, which is so effortless. So if you guys are really trying to learn rotations for tricks, this is awesome. And I definitely want to learn some rotations for tricks, try to open up my park trick list for the summer. And bringing this thing around and trying to whip this thing is so freaking effortless. Like, I am not even holding the bar and it's sideways. This is crazy. So we're definitely going to learn some tricks today on this. Hopefully do some tricks that I'm not really too good at on flat. We're just going to straight into it, do some whips, do some bar spins, and see how it feels. First thing I want to do is tail whip. First, we're going to try to do a tail whip, see what it feels like. The bars are extremely low compared to my other scooter, but that could definitely help with some tricks. A lot of tricks do feel better with lower bars, especially finger whips, bri flips, stuff like that. So we're just going to see if we can get used to it, see what it feels like, and you can just bar spin without jumping. That's cool. I'm telling you right now, for those who want to learn rotations and get a feel what it's like to land tricks you don't know how to land on your regular scooter, this is great. I'm not going to say this is going to transition over to your scooter right away. I think it won't actually, but just to have a introduction to muscle memory and see what rotation feels like, this thing's awesome. So for those who don't know how to tail whip, this is clearly a good taste on what it's like to learn tricks. You know what it is? It's weird. For me right now, doing tricks on my scooter feels a little easier because I'm used to it. A lot of times the weight doesn't really have to do anything. You can get used to any scooter and do any trick on any scooter with any weight. Right now it's really constructing the muscle memory on what this feels like when it whips. Not getting used to the weight. It's just what it rotates, how it feels when you're throwing it around. But you gotta do a couple more tricks, see what's good. To me, the strangest part about this whole thing is that it's stationary. You're not moving, so I'm used to rolling. That's just something I am used to doing. If you can learn tricks stationary, then it's gonna feel a lot better. But for me to do stationary tricks definitely feels weird. I'm also used to popping off my back wheel for tricks, so just to go straight up is a little different for me. It just makes it harder. I have been riding for over 15 years, so that muscle memory is well engraved in my body. It's really tough for me to approach a trick in a different way. It being light has not really helped me at all. I mean, it does help when it does attack you and you hit yourself in the leg or even the head. I feel like if you hit yourself in the head, it's not gonna hurt as much, you won't get knocked out. So those tricks that do feel scary that you don't wanna throw, like your first buttercup or anything like that, I'm sure that's going to be very helpful. I just have a hard time doing tricks without popping off my back wheel. I'm used to doing that like mini manual just to get that extra pop. So double heel is hard for me. Very strange. And just in case I don't do a trip whip flat right now because I want to, here's a clip of me doing one in my living room, just in case. Bringing back some archives just because I don't feel confident right now because one, my ankle is still not the best right now. It's still healing. It's cold. I have a lot of clothes on and I have to get used to this scooter. Very tough. There we go. a double heel. So weird, just very strange. Another factor right now is the bar is a little small for me, but this makes it perfect for you guys that really want to learn tricks on scooter. We just have something to kind of get through the winter. I think this is awesome because you can ride this inside. You can ride this on the carpet. You can ride it on a trampoline. So the scooter is definitely good for exercising and training when you're home and you're not riding, or you're sore and you still want to engrave trick rotations or anything like that into your trick list. This thing's sick. I am so down to keep using this. To give you a closer look at what it's made of, pretty much just like a generic two-piece aluminum bar. Very light, has the bolts right there, Allen keys to tighten it up. I changed the grips on here because it comes with a little grips that are a little hard for me. I just like a softer grip, so I throw on some old NVTPR grips on here. And it's bolted on this weird, crazy compression headset gyro looking piece right here with just regular screws on here. You don't want to over tighten them if you do get this thing, because you don't want to over tighten into foam. Of course, stripping foam is going to be a lot easier than stripping your SES clamps or anything like that. And the deck itself is just a big piece of foam. Really flexible, doesn't feel like it's gonna break unless you really try to bend it, but it definitely has a lot of flex, which is great because I do feel like sometimes when I do land, I have my bars sitting into my lap and I feel like I'm just gonna rip this thing out of the top, but I don't. It's pretty strong. I'm using it for a couple weeks now, just trying to see what's going on at the crib, of course. We're outside, really trying to experiment, and I definitely have some cool ideas that will help me in my style of riding with this scooter. Before we really experiment and try to do tricks that no one's ever done before on this scooter or any scooter period, I want to do a couple more tricks. I want to see if I can fang whip first off. Fang whip should be very awesome, especially right now since it's cold. And if I had my normal scooter, I would not want to fang whip because when it's 25 degrees and you fang whip, it's not fun. I don't care who you say, what you do, it's not fun. You don't want to do it. So fang whipping right now would just definitely be something that I haven't done in a long time because of the weather. I gotta remember to not bunny hop. I have to pick straight up, which is a little different for me, but this is what we gotta do. There's no wheels, gotta compensate. Nice. I'm telling you right now, that feels so effortless to do a fang whip. I'm used to jumping as high as I can, but because it's so light, bringing it up, that part helps. Maybe even kickless. Maybe that's something we should do right now because kickless is not really too much of a rotation trick. It is a little bit, but just the science and really pulling it back with less weight should help. So if you want me to try a kickless, if you guys want me to do a kickless, leave a like on the video. I'm gonna do either way. It'd be cool if you guys like the video. I never ask. Do me a favor, I'll do you one in return. That's good enough for me. I don't do that trick. That's crazy. So for those who are already good at kicklesses, I'm sure that's going to feel cool, especially since you already know the rotation good. I'm not that good at that trick. I can do them. I can do like double heel. I've done triple heel kickless, but I don't do them often enough where it feels natural and normal. But I'm able to do it on flat, which the only time I ever did it before on flat was with Coda's scooter. That's it. I can do it on his scooter pretty clean. Now, if you guys follow me on this channel, you know how I ride. I ride a little different than most people. I ride tech, I ride flat. I kind of try to create my own way of riding, and that's what I want to do today with this scooter. Everybody that gets the scooter worries about trip whips, quad whips, buttercups, all that stuff. I want to see what's possible on this that you can't do on your other scooter yet. And there is a trick that I thought of when I was home, which is why I really wanted to film this video, and that's going to be a double decade. If you guys don't know what a double decade is, I'll do one decade just to show you guys what it means, and to do two will be a dream trick on my normal scooter. There is probably at least 3 or 4 ways to do a decade. Most people, when you think of decade, you think of jumping in the air and kind of leaving the deck there and jumping around, landing on it. Another way people do it, it's more like a 3 downside. They kind of go the other way, throw like half of a whip to finish. But at the end of the day, that's more like a 3 downside than anything. Then there's another way to do a decade, and that's like the flatland way, where you kind of leave the back wheel there, go around the scooter that way. And I've done that, I've done the other way. But there's another way people decade, which is so impressive, and that's especially on flatland BMX, and that's this. And I figured out one, to do a double would be a dream trick, period. So hopefully we can do it on this. But the decade that I'm talking about is like this. Going all the way around, floating the entire deck and everything on the floor. And I was able to do one in my kitchen yesterday. But to be able to do 2, I definitely think it's possible on this, because what makes it hard on a normal scooter is your front wheel. When you do the trick, your front wheel wants to just go every direction. But because there is no front wheel, the deck's gonna stay where it is. I'm just gonna learn how to balance the trick, which is super helpful because if I can learn this, that might transition over to my scooter. And to do that trick on a normal scooter, that would definitely and easily be a world's first. Now I've actually done that on my normal scooter, fakie. It's easier going fakie for some reason. But my dream is to do a double on my normal scooter. That would be like a video part clip. Like that would be something for Flat Edit 6. But I gotta learn on this first. This one is definitely way easier to do it on because there's no front wheel and it just wants to rotate. But I just need to learn how to hold myself up, balance. But today's goal is to do a double on this one. So we're gonna try that. Hope you guys are ready for the battle. Hopefully I can at least land one. We'll try to see what happens. And this would technically be a world's first on a foam scooter. Dude, that was good. No! Why did that one just stop spinning? That was 3. I just put my feet like hugging the bars, so I was realizing that if I'm closer to the bars, I'm able to spin tighter, and that just worked. We're gonna get 2 now. 3, we're gonna save 3. I'm not trying to be here all year. We're gonna do 2, but now we know. So here's the problem. That works really good on this scooter, but to be able to do it like that on my normal scooter probably won't work. I couldn't hold the bar with my feet. Couldn't do that. It's not gonna work. I need to be able to have my legs spread for balance, but like I said, this scooter is kind of like a taste, like a sample for tricks. Definitely something where you can understand what it's like to land it and then still work your way up to do it on your real scooter. But we were able to do a double decade. Almost did 3 by accident, not even trying. For some reason I was just locked in perfect. But we did 2, we did a bunch of tricks. This scooter is awesome. Thanks to Indo Scooter for sending me this scooter. And if you guys want to check out the scooter and get an indoor scooter, carpet scooter, or something to use on a trampoline, check the link in the description. You guys can scoop one. This thing's so fun. Definitely something good to have in your house, especially when you guys have a seasonal climate. Over in New York, it's so cold in the winter. It's so hard to ride all day, every day in the winter. So having something like this keeps the mind fresh, keeps exercise going. Appreciate you guys watching this video. And if you did like the video, please leave a comment and of course subscribe. Making these videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make sure to check out Indo Scooter. I'm having a great time on this and I'm so happy to be using this thing, especially at home during the winter. Thanks Indo for sending me this scooter, and I'll see you guys in the next video.